The Love Affair event is on at Whole Foods Market with deals on delicious desires through February 14th. The floral department's in full bloom, so look for savings on double dozen bunches of roses. In the meat and seafood departments, save on animal welfare certified New York strip steaks and sustainable wild-caught lobster tails to make the night sizzle. Gifts from the wellness and beauty department are always a nice touch. And you have to grab those chocolate-dipped strawberries. Make Whole Foods Market your Valentine's Day destination.
Welcome to Tuning In to Sound Wellbeing, the podcast where Amanda, our sound therapy expert, unlocks the healing potential of sound therapy and tuning forks in wellness. I'm Stephen, your co-host, joining Amanda on this journey into the world of frequencies and vibrations. So whether you're a curious learner or a wellness enthusiast, our show offers you fresh insights and practical knowledge. Come with us to uncover the mysteries of sound, embrace new wellness perspectives, and experience the transformative magic of frequencies and vibration. Tuning into Sound Wellbeing is here to harmonise your mind, body and soul.
Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to another episode of Tune In to Sound Wellbeing. I'm Amanda Mackay, your sound therapy expert.
And I am Stephen, your ever-curious explorer. Now today, Amanda, is the last show in the series, and of course, we both know that time as we commonly understand it is an illusion and just a construct that allows us to make sense of our experiences on this horizontal plane. But Mukka Sakra, where did the time go?
It sure has flown by. I have to say it's been quite the journey, such a great energy, and I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. So today we're going to go through some of the best bits and highlights of the last 12 weeks. It was actually quite challenging to distill 12 weeks down into 45 minutes, but we have done our best.
Yes, we have. So I thought we'd start with episode 1.
Righto, that makes sense.
So this was our introduction to sound therapy, where we talked about brain entrainment, intention, and vibration. One of the key principles is resonance. Now, this is the idea that certain frequencies can resonate with different parts of our body.
Mm-hmm.
It creates balance and alignment, supporting the body's own healing process, which is amazing.
Yeah.
This principle often guides the selection of specific instruments and frequencies chosen by a therapist in a sound therapy session.
All right.
Yeah. And another vital concept is entrainment. We shouldn't forget that. It's like the dance between our body's natural rhythms and the external sound.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like we're syncing up with the beat of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, intention. This plays a crucial role. Sound therapy is often practiced with intention of promoting healing, relaxation, transformation. And when you set an intention, like before you do with a meditation or yoga session, like you always do, Steve.
Yes, yep.
Only with the added magic of sound vibrations.
Right.
So as we journey through this podcast, keep those core principles in mind. They're the building blocks of this incredible world of sound therapy we're going to take you through.
Very, very cool. Yes, that was where it all began, back when compressions and rarefactions were just meaningless verbs.
Well, not to everyone, but yes. In this episode, it was all about the core principles we explored, resonance, entrainment, and intention.
Yeah, we talked about old Heinrich Hertz and oscillations and how Howans discovered entrainment.
So yes, the key bits of the resonance, entrainment, and intention are the building blocks of manifesting what you want.
All right.
So what you feel is what you attract. So when you can't manifest those beautiful things that you want in your life, you need to look at your vibration. Your intention is to change that vibration, and then that resonance is what brings in those very things that you're looking at.
Indeed. So anyway, we managed to get through working together for the first week, and we came back for another dose.
We did, yes. And in this second episode, we were discussing the science behind sound and vibration. So this is where we've really dug deep into the compression and rarefactions that you love so much, Steve.
You are right. I do dig them. So let's have a listen.
Alrighty.
So another question I've got is about the resonance now. So I understand it's a core principle of sound therapy. So can you just give us a bit of science behind resonance?
Yes, it's a fundamental concept in sound therapy, and it's about vibrational matching.
Yes.
When we use tuning forks, they produce a specific frequency,
Yes.
or if you like, you can think of it as a musical note.
Yes. Okay.
Now, our bodies, including our cells, tissues, and organs, each have their own natural vibrational frequencies.
Okay. Yes.
When the frequency of a tuning fork matches or resonates with the frequency of a part of our body, something remarkable happens. It's like two tuning forks playing the same note, and this resonance can enhance the energy and flow
I see.
in that part of our
Okay,
body.
so the musical harmony between the tuning fork and our body's own tune, and that harmony can lead us into some healing and some relaxation.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like our bodies are tuned instruments. So sound therapy helps to fine tune them
Yep.
for optimal well-being.
Okay, so well, how does that actually work with the energy transferring?
You can think of it as a transfer of energy
Yes, yep.
where the vibrations from the tuning fork stimulate the vibrations within the object or our body.
Okay.
We talked a bit about the physics of sound, but we also talked about how different frequencies resonate with different parts of the body.
Yes.
You know, for example, the eyes are really interesting. So when I use a tuning fork in this area, if there is some resistance in the left eye, it's how you're actually viewing yourself.
Wow.
And in the right eye, it's how you're viewing the world. Now, if
Ah,
I'm working at the backs of the eyes, this is how you have seen things in the past. It's really fascinating.
it is really fascinating.
We can work with teeth, like the tongue, and that's really amazing because that's all the things that you couldn't say.
Yeah.
All the times that you didn't express yourself, all of that energy sits in the mouth.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's really fascinating what you can find with a tuning fork.
Yeah, it is. That's incredible.
It really is. So if you're looking at the hands, it might be if you've got sore hands, what are you giving too much? Do you feel like you're not actually receiving? So that can be in there. Elbows can be relationships with the parents, or,
Ah,
you know, if you've got a sore wrist or that forearm, you probably feel like you've been working too hard and things are just really a bit difficult and maybe a bit overwhelming as well.
that's amazing. That sounds like a bit of fodder for another episode to me.
I would really love to get into that a bit more. It's one of my favorite things is to
Nice.
explore that.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Okay. Well, look, we sort of rolled through the science type stuff in that particular episode, and we talked about, and then we started to talk about the different frequencies and their effects.
Yes. So this is when we first began to talk about things like chakras
Yep.
and solfeggio frequencies.
Okie dokie then. Let's roll the tape.
All right. At those. So the base chakra that's located at the base of the spine, associated with the color red,
Yep.
resonates with frequency around 396 hertz in the solfeggio fork range.
Right.
So this is all about grounding and security and feeling at home and safe.
Right.
In the sacral chakra, this is just below the navel. This is the orange color. The solfeggio fork for this area is the 417 hertz.
Yep.
So linked to creativity and passion and bringing things to life.
Ah, yes.
It's all about facilitating change. Now the plexus, the solar plexus chakra, is in the upper abdomen. This is the yellow color, and you might find the fork that resonates with this in the solfeggio range is 528
Ah,
hertz.
right. Okay.
This is your personal power, your self-esteem.
Yep.
It resides here.
Yep.
And this is all about transformation. So when you feel empowered, you are transforming those feelings and emotions that have been out of alignment.
Right. Okay.
Now, in the heart chakra,
That's the next chakra.
absolutely, this is the green chakra. So the solfeggio fork for this area is 639 hertz. Love,
Of course.
compassion,
Yes.
harmony.
Yes.
Forgiveness is a really big one. Usually it's self-forgiveness is the big game changer here.
Yeah.
And all relationships.
Yep.
But really, that one with yourself is the most important.
Yes.
Now, next we have the throat chakra,
Mm-hmm.
clearly associated with communication.
Okay.
So your solfeggio fork here, you would use the 741 hertz. And this is about clearing and purification.
Yep.
So, being clear and pure in your communication.
Right.
The third eye, the next chakra, is located in the middle of the forehead.
Right.
So this is a nice purple color here. You might want to use your 852 hertz solfeggio fork here, linked to spiritual awakening and intuition.
Yes.
Now, your intuition always increases the more you trust yourself.
Yes.
So this chakra is all about self-belief.
Right.
Because you really do need to believe the intuition that you're receiving.
Yes, of course.
So finally, we have the crown chakra.
Okay.
So this can be more like a white sort of color or an indigo, depending on which chart you're looking at.
Right.
It's just above the top of the head.
Yes.
Now you'd want to use your 963 hertz solfeggio fork here.
Okay.
And this represents our connection to the divine.
Right.
So you might see this as just connection to nature.
Mm-hmm.
If, God or universe are not your words.
Yes.
Okay, so the key takeaway from this exploration is that frequencies are everywhere.
They are.
From the hum of the universe to the beating of your heart, they're not just abstract concepts. They are tangible forces that influence us every day. I could have talked about this a lot.
You did.
Yes, that's true. But it was a popular episode.
It was a very popular episode.
And one of the forks that I didn't mention was the 285 hertz. Now, I use this a lot in sessions. It's often associated with promoting energy and motivation for change.
Yep.
Because, if you're coming for a session or you're using a tuning fork, you really are looking for change, aren't you?
Yes, you are.
That is exactly what you're after. So, I could talk about all of this a little bit more again, but I think we might have to leave it for next week.
Yeah, well, it was a good episode. It was definitely an education for myself, and I love to learn new stuff. So then what happened?
Well, in week 4, we talked about your garden. So how's that going, by the way?
Look, it's coming along nicely. Thank you very much for asking. In fact, I might even throw a couple of pics up onto Instagram and Facebook for anyone who might be interested to have a look.
Oh, nice.
And look, not to brag, but my tomatoes are huge.
Such a proud dad.
Look, yes, I know it's not all about size, but All right, let's have a listen then, shall we?
Here in the Southern Hemisphere, it's spring.
It is.
So
Beautiful spring.
it's gorgeous.
It's sprung.
And so I thought we might talk about how to use meditation and frequencies for plants.
Oh, okay. Now that is great because
Yeah.
I've just planted out a bit of a spring garden, so I'd love a few tips on how I can help them out.
Okay, so we're going to go a bit deeper into the intriguing practice of plant serenades.
Oh, okay.
I know, it sounds beautiful,
I'll
doesn't
set a
it?
stage up down the back.
Studies suggest that plants respond really positively to specific frequencies.
Right.
And using tuning forks can potentially enhance their growth and well-being.
Wow, okay.
So plants, despite their lack of nervous system or traditional sensory organs,
Yep.
are remarkably perceptive organisms.
They are.
They can sense and respond to various environmental stimuli like light, gravity,
Yes.
and sound.
Yes.
And while the exact mechanisms behind the plant perception of sound is a subject of ongoing research.
Right.
Several studies have hinted at their ability to react to acoustic vibrations.
Wow.
Yeah, there are some quite famous studies being conducted on plants that have shown certain frequencies of sound can have a positive impact on their growth.
Well, okay.
Yeah, for example, exposure to specific musical compositions or frequencies
Yes.
has been observed to enhance their growth.
Wow.
And some experiments suggest that the exposure to soothing sounds like classical music
Right.
or specific frequencies, even generated by tuning forks,
Yep.
can stimulate plant growth.
Okay.
And it could be due to the vibrations enhancing the nutrient uptake
Ah.
and the metabolic processes.
Wow.
It can boost resilience in the plants.
Okay.
So plants subjected to regular sound therapy, including tuning fork serenades, might exhibit greater resistance to environmental stresses
Right.
like pests and disease.
Yeah.
And sound vibrations can, we think, fortify their immune responses.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah, another benefit, increased productivity.
Okay.
So in agricultural settings, the use of sound therapy has been explored as a means to increase crop yield.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By providing plants with harmonious frequencies, farmers are trying to promote a robust growth
Yeah.
and higher crop production.
Yeah. Well, that would be better than tipping a load of chemicals all over them, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So that's great. So I can just go and grab my guitar and start belting out American Pie to my tomatoes, and this is going to make them bigger and more resilient.
Well, I'm not sure if Don McLean is the frequency the tomatoes want to hear, but I'm sure they'd be happy for the free concert and the attention. And you do play beautiful guitar, so they probably love it.
You're very kind. So have you got some other tips we might have be able to use?
The Love Affair event is on at Whole Foods Market with deals on delicious desires through February 14th. The floral department's in full bloom, so look for savings on double dozen bunches of roses. In the meat and seafood departments, save on animal welfare certified New York strip steaks and sustainable wild-caught lobster tails to make the night sizzle. Gifts from the wellness and beauty department are always a nice touch. And you have to grab those chocolate-dipped strawberries. Make Whole Foods Market your Valentine's Day destination.
Yeah, sure.
Apart from American Pie.
You can use tuning forks. So just by selecting the right frequency, it will have a different effect on different plants.
Okay. So you've got to test it out a bit.
Yeah, and if you've only got one fork, use that fork.
Yeah, of course.
But tuning forks are available in so many different frequencies, and you might choose one that matches the desired outcome that
So
you
one
want.
might be like one for your tomatoes, different to your pumpkin,
Well,
or your indoor plant.
yeah, exactly. Like 111 hertz is new beginnings.
Oh,
So
okay.
you might want to use that on your little seedlings.
Seedlings, right? I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So next you want to create a really serene environment. So for your indoor plants, it's the quiet space you want to create for that serenade session.
Yep.
And try not to have like the distracting noises like the TV on or other music. And you just gently strike the fork, hold it near the plant's base.
Yep.
You might, if it's a fully grown plant, put it on its leaves. I would say for little new plants, just hold it near the plant and allow the vibrations to transmit.
Yep.
Let those frequencies go into the plant.
Right.
So you can move the fork around and just covering different aspects and different parts of the plant as well.
Yeah, okay.
And you might see the benefits of this plant serenade if you make it a regular practice.
Okay.
So just once a week would probably be enough for your
Okay.
indoor plants. Because if you're using your fork at home for yourself, the plant's going to be picking up on that anyway.
Oh, true. Okay,
Yeah.
so once a week sound fertilization for the plants.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a really good way of putting it, actually. So remember the effects of plant serenades may vary depending on the type of plant.
Of course.
Its overall health and the specific frequency used.
Okay.
So it is essential to continue, obviously, providing proper care.
So you can't just replace watering the plant with your tuning fork. Yes.
No, it still needs light and water and nutrients and all the usual things.
Yep.
It will just increase the plant's growth.
Yes. Okay.
So, incorporating these plant serenades into your routine
Yep.
are a really beautiful way to connect with nature.
Yep.
And exploring the world of plant perception.
Yeah, right.
The impact sound has on plants is incredible.
Mm.
I just love the fact that everything in this universe vibrates and has its own frequency.
Yes. So that brings us into episode 5, and that week you got to have the chance to have the week away from me and talk to your friend Rosanna.
I did. How lucky am I? I get to talk to my friends while I'm working.
Oui, non sont bénis, mon cher. So let's hear some of that.
Because there is something called intention. And this intention really is what drives that sound to the person. Because sound is mechanic. The intention is what sound will carry to the person.
Yes.
So when people say, oh, you're going to have the C for the root, and then I'm going to have the A for, the crown and so on, or the pineal gland, it's not like that. It is not like that. You have to be a little bit more open mind that it really depends.
It depends on the person's body too, doesn't it?
And the person as well. So that's why even the frequencies, all the frequency such and such is good for that. It depends.
Yes.
It depends because everybody has a different body. So I can't tell that the frequency of 528, for example, is to regenerate the DNA or something like that. Everybody is different. Everybody has a different story, different thickness in the body, different bones, different size of organs. So how can I say that this frequency is specific for that? It can't be.
Yes, that's right. It's a general rule of thumb, but it can be different for different people, which is why different tuning forks or singing bowls resonate with different people differently. That's why one person will listen to that and say, oh, I love that. And the other person will say, oh, no, I don't really resonate with that. So it really does have a lot to do with who you are, your experiences, and your body as well. So it is good to actually listen to the note or the frequency and see what feels right for you.
Yes. Although there are some instruments that are more steady sound, that it's obviously is going to calm down. There are two things here. One is your brain, and the other one is your body. So the vibration can work, the frequency can work in your brain differently than your body. So your brain can entrain with the frequency and have and slow down the waves.
Yes.
Mechanically, using earphones and things like that.
There were so many great bits in that interview that it was really hard to choose what to put in. But I really wanted everyone to hear what Rosanna was saying about how we're all different and different vibrations are different for everyone.
Yes.
So this is really about having an open mind and finding the right thing for you.
Yeah.
So when you buy a tuning fork or you go and have a session, it's be open, have an open mind, have an open heart, and really just enjoy the experience and see what can come out of it for you.
Be in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, after that, the next week you came back to me and we started exploring chakras and energy centers, and you were impressing all and sundry with your amazing ability to pronounce Sanskrit.
Oh, yes. Well, it's a gift.
Yeah, indeed it
Took
is.
a lot of practice, actually.
So let's revisit some of that, shall we?
All right. Muladhara, which is located at the base of the spine,
Yes.
associated with the color red, and its element is earth.
Right.
It represents grounding, stability, security, survival instincts, physical health, and a sense of belonging.
Right.
So the sacral chakra is the next one.
Yeah.
That is Swadhisthana.
Nice.
And it's located at the lower abdomen.
Right.
So below the navel. It's associated with the color orange. Its element is water. And this chakra represents creativity, emotional balance, pleasure, sexuality, creativity, and the ability to enjoy your life's experiences.
Yeah, okay.
Now, the next one is the solar plexus, the
Munipara.
and it's located in the upper abdomen between the navel and the rib cage.
Right.
Its color is yellow, the element is fire, and this represents our own personal power, our confidence, our self-esteem, our willpower, and the ability to assert yourself.
Right.
Now, the next one is my favorite.
Yes.
It's the heart chakra.
Nice.
Yeah, the anahata. And this is located, as you probably have already guessed, in the center of the chest near the heart.
Yes.
The color is green.
Okay.
And sometimes it's seen as pink.
All right.
And that's because there's actually another spiritual heart in front of this chakra as well. So sometimes it can be seen as pink.
Yeah.
And this one is the element of air.
Yes.
It represents love, compassion, empathy, forgiveness, emotional healing, and most importantly, self-love.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, from here, we go up to the throat chakra,
Yes.
the Vishuddha.
Vishuddha.
Yeah.
So I'm getting my Sanskrit down here.
Yeah, it is a bit tricky.
It is.
And it's located in the throat. The color is blue,
Yeah.
maybe sometimes a light blue or a turquoise, and it's the element of ether or space.
Right.
So, as you can imagine, it represents communication, self-expression, authenticity, and the ability to express your truth with not filtering or reducing what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah.
So, above that, we have the third eye,
Yep.
the Anaha
Yeah.
or Ajna,
Yes.
and it's located between the eyebrows.
Right.
So it's above the bridge of the nose.
Yes.
And its color is considered to be an indigo, sometimes a blue,
Yeah.
and it's the element is light.
Right.
Yeah. And this chakra represents your intuition, inner wisdom, insight, clarity, and the ability to see beyond the physical. It really is about trusting yourself.
Okay, so that's 6. What's number 7?
All right, so the last one we
Yep.
have is the crown chakra.
Okay.
Now, this one is a bit tricky
Okay.
to say.
Let's go.
Sahasrara.
Sahasrara. Okay.
And it's found at the top of the head. The color is usually a really pale violet or white.
Oh, okay.
And the element, as you could imagine, is thought.
Now, that was a really interesting episode for me because I didn't know much or anything really about chakras, and now I actually refer to them all the time.
Yes, so Upanishads, Vedas, Yajurveda, Vedic, Pingala, Sushumna.
You just show it off. Stop it. You had me at Upanishads.
It's really such a detailed subject and one I'm very passionate about. And I'm sure we'll revisit it in
Yep.
our next series.
Yep.
I mean, for example, did you know that the chakras go from the front of the body through to the back?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people miss when they're using their tuning forks. So we'll be talking a lot more about that.
All right, I can't wait. Well, okay. Anyway, before you could say Sushumna, we were into week 7, which was all about different tuning fork techniques.
Yes, this episode was quite a popular one, starting to talk more in-depthly about Fibonacci here.
Cool. Let's go there now, shall we?
A close cousin to the spiral technique is the seashell technique.
Right.
So this method is inspired by the elegant natural occurring of spirals found in seashells.
It's very famous. Yep.
Yeah, these spirals embody balance and order, And Bailu incorporates these spirals into his therapeutic approach with the tuning forks.
Okay.
So similar to the spiral technique, specific forks attuned to the Fibonacci frequencies are activated.
Right.
The practitioner gently traces the client's body or energy field with the vibrating tuning forks.
Yes.
And it follows this graceful spiral pattern. So this technique is designed to promote balance, harmony, and that natural flow of energy.
Very nice.
Yeah, so the Fibonacci sequence is not just a mathematical concept, it's a reflection of the profound order of harmony present in the natural world.
Yeah.
So by incorporating this sequence into sound therapy, John Bailu's techniques tap into that inherent balance that exists within us and around us.
Wow, I am loving it.
Yes, John Bailu is such an amazing practitioner and educator, and I've learnt a lot from reading his work and watching his videos. And his spiral technique is well used throughout the tuning fork world.
Yes,
really.
right, okay.
So I use the seashell technique also,
Yeah.
and I sometimes use that not only with the Fibonacci forks, like the 89 and the 144 forks. I also use the I am in the intention.
Oh, okay.
So when you say I am, you actually leave a space, and it's that space in between which is the creation of the healing or the manifesting or whatever it is you're actually working with at the time. So it's such a beautifully profound, deep space you can get into. And I just really love his work.
Yes, okay. That was a good episode. So anyway,
Yeah.
moving on now into week 8, we talked about how sound therapy is used for stress reduction. Now, again, this was a really popular episode, and I suspect something that a lot of people use it for, and myself included in that.
Yes, this episode was really a culmination of pretty much everything we'd previously talked about. So let's step back in time, shall we?
Oh, yes, sounds good.
Life is hard, but finding a really great podcast makes the days go by so much easier. Hi, my name is Blue Telusma. I'm a writer, an emotional intelligence coach, and the host of Humanize with Blue Telusma, a podcast where we believe that when you humanize everyone in the room, a great conversation is almost guaranteed. Join us every week here on Electricast as me and my guest co-hosts unpack big topics and interview even bigger personalities with a sense of humor and a dash of mischief. If you're looking for a new best friend in your head, we've got you covered. Electricast.
Say you're looking for stress reduction.
Yes.
Tuning forks in the alpha or theta range would be really good.
Yep.
Tuning forks can come in various frequencies, and each is associated with specific effects.
Yeah, right.
You can use weighted or unweighted forks.
Yep.
Lower frequencies are often used for grounding and relaxation, and higher frequencies can promote clarity and focus.
Right, okay.
Now, research and consider the frequency that aligns with what you're trying to achieve, your goals.
Yep.
Tuning forks can be made from different materials too.
Yes.
So, aluminium,
Yep.
steel, and quartz crystal.
Okay.
Now, the material affects the quality of the sound and the vibrational energy it emits. Experiment with different materials. You know, you might find you like one more than the other,
Yep.
or you use them at different times
Sure.
too. You might have a selection.
Yep.
So it's important to consider whether you feel more comfortable using a weighted fork on the body or an unweighted fork in the energy field around the body,
Yep.
or a combination of both.
Indeed.
A lot of people I see in my clinic use tuning forks for stress relief.
Yes.
It is advice that I give for more or less every single person when they come and see me. Using the forks for relieving stress helps you to reset, regenerate, and begin to heal.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that one. But then in a flash, we're into week 9. And once again, you got to have a bit of a chin wag with your good mate, Bindi.
Yes, I did. And one of the best bits was when we talked about manifesting.
Righto, let's go there then.
Okay, so we have been talking a lot about vibration and energy, of course. So, can you tell us something that you've manifested into your life by changing your vibration?
That's a good question. Well, there's so many things. I guess just in the last few years, you would have seen, Amanda, the things that I've manifested.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question, because I thought it would be really interesting for everybody to hear some of these things.
Yeah, I guess for me, I wanted to manifest certain connections and opportunities, particularly in the podcasting world. And I currently am surrounded by a large group of psychics. I know that sounds funny, but there's a large group of psychics that surround me, and quite often I go to them for advice. But one in particular, she said to me, look, you really need to be very particular with what you want, because as soon as you ask for it, you will get it.
Oh,
And I was
right.
like, okay. So I thought, all right, let's just do a little practice. So what I did was, she said, okay, you need to write down specifically what it is you want. And so I did. I was very, very specific. I wrote it down to the nth degree.
Yeah.
And then what I did was I envisioned myself already there. So I embodied that, like it was already here. And it was like, I'm a total nerd, right? So it was like I had researched every aspect of making that happen before it was here. It felt like it was already here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so within 3 months, it happened effortlessly.
Wow.
And I was like, really? Did that just happen? And it was actually a connection I was trying to make in Hollywood, but it was at a much higher level than I was expecting. And I was like, oh, that wasn't hard at all. And all I did was I followed the steps, but I was very intentional about it. Like I set an intention.
Yep.
And I stuck with it. But what I also did was, like, I let it go. I let it out into the universe, and I was like, I trust that this will happen. Like, there was no other, no other thought, no other opportunity, no other option, no other path to go down.
So you didn't hold on to it.
No, I didn't.
Enforce it.
Freak out about it. I didn't wonder how. I didn't. This is the whole thing. Is when people ask me how I do this, I'm like, don't worry about the how. It'll show up. Step by step, will show up when it's ready. Don't worry about the how. Just worry about the end game, where you want to be and what you want.
Okay.
And when I did that, like, it was almost like, again, a science that I'd worked out and went, huh, wow. Yeah, okay, this works.
Yes, some brilliant tips for manifesting your best life there from Bindi.
Yep.
She has brought in some big changes and some amazing career opportunities. I've really watched her take off over the last few years.
Indeed, an incredible person and a great interview. So, next episode, we talked about using vibrational healing beyond tuning forks.
Yes, now this was a super interesting episode for me. So let's revisit it, a bit of it now. It's not just an addition, it's an alchemical fusion that amplifies the healing potential, resonating through every fiber of our existence.
Wow.
So let's unravel the profound benefits woven within these practices. Stress, that ever present companion in modern lives, finds solace in the gentle arms of vibrational healing. Through its soothing embrace, we discover a sanctuary of serenity, a respite from the chaos, and this allows stress to dissipate, just like the morning mist.
That's a beautiful analogy.
Thank you.
Oh.
And pain too.
Yep.
Okay, so pain is big for a lot of people. And this bows to the healing touch of vibrational frequencies.
Yes.
It's as if these harmony vibrations hold the key to unlocking the body's innate capacity to manage pain and heal. The melodies, the resonance, they cloak us in comfort.
Yep.
It's like whispering relief to aching souls and bodies.
Lovely.
Now, emotions.
Mm.
These colourful cues that paint our lives find a nurturing haven in the vibrational embrace.
Yes.
Through this harmonious dance, emotional well-being blossoms, offering us the space to heal, grow, and find balance amidst life sometimes, let's face it, tumultuous symphony.
Yes.
But moreover, these claims aren't mere whispers in the wind. They're echoed in the halls of scientific exploration.
Yeah.
Research studies have unveiled the efficacy of vibrational healing practices. They've delved into the realms of sound therapy, crystal healing, and the amalgamation of these modalities.
Mm-hmm.
So their findings sing the songs of validation, supporting the tangible benefits experienced by many seekers of wellness.
Yeah, for sure, Amanda. There are a lot of studies now which seem to indicate that vibrational medicine does actually work.
Yes, so in fact, high intensity focused ultrasound, and let's use HIFU as the anagram,
Okay.
is a cancer treatment. So
Okay.
it aims to kill cancer cells with high frequency sound waves,
Yeah,
which is amazing.
that is amazing.
And researchers at the University of Michigan showed that when non invasive sound waves break apart tumors, they trigger an immune response in mice.
Okay.
And by breaking down the cell wall, you could think of it like a cloak, the treatment exposes the cancer cell markers that had previously been hidden from the body's defenses.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. But ultimately, look, we know that disruption of harmony leaves us open to disease. And in
Mm-hmm.
fact, disease is a form of disharmony.
Yes, okay.
So, I mean, if you allow stress, depression, pessimism, frustration, all be a part of your everyday life, eventually it is going to manifest in some form. Yes, disease is essentially disharmony in one form or another. And that high intensity focused ultrasound is an incredible thing.
Yeah.
And how vibration is now helping people who are living with cancer.
Yeah.
And that really did connect with me because, and actually, it was a bit of a hard episode emotionally because my mum did pass from cancer. And this was way before I even found sound healing.
Mm.
So, it would have been nice just to be able to help, ease her a little,
Yeah.
at least with some tuning forks. So, it's not even about the curing. Sometimes it's just about the soothing.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, life's an amazing thing, and the way frequency is being used now in medical research, is truly incredible.
Yeah, it is.
So then we put on our nightcaps and we talked about sound therapy and how it can improve sleep. Now, this episode really piqued my interest and it's really helped me get a better night's sleep experience. And I know it's true because my smartwatch tells me so.
Well, if the smartwatch says so, it must be true.
Indeed, indeed it does. So let's go and get some snooze news now.
I often use tuning forks with frequencies that align with the pineal gland activation,
Yeah,
stimulating melatonin
melatonin.
production. That's
Yep.
the only activation you want
Yeah.
when you're going to bed.
Yeah,
So the 528 hertz frequency is a personal favorite.
me too.
It resonates with the pineal gland, encourages the release of melatonin, our natural sleep hormone.
Yes.
And this helps me unwind and signals my body it's time to transition into a restful state.
Yep.
It's a beautiful synergy between the frequencies and the physiological response,
Right.
and contributing to a more peaceful and rejuvenating sleep experience.
Yes, indeed. Now, the pineal gland. Now, that seems to be quite on trend at the moment. Now, my understanding, just from a scientific point of view, like its main function is to create the neurotransmitter melatonin, which we've been talking about. but apparently it does a lot more. Can you talk us a bit through your understanding of the pineal gland?
Okay, the pineal gland is primarily known for producing melatonin,
Mm-hmm.
a hormone that regulates sleep-wake cycles.
Right.
Some theories suggest that the pineal gland may play a role in higher states of consciousness
Right.
and spiritual
Oh,
experiences.
okay.
But scientifically speaking, the pineal gland is sensitive to light and darkness.
Right.
It receives signals from the eyes about the amount of light in the environment,
Mm-hmm.
influencing the production of melatonin.
Right.
Some researchers suggest that the pineal gland's sensitivity to light may also play a role in regulating circadian rhythms and
Ah.
seasonal patterns.
Okay.
Some theories propose that the pineal gland is involved in a higher state of consciousness
Yes.
and spiritual experience.
Right.
This idea is often rooted in the glands associated with the third eye,
Right.
and that's in certain spiritual traditions.
Right. Okay.
René Descartes, a French philosopher, referred to the pineal gland as the seat of the soul
Right.
in the 17th century.
Yes.
So it's a metaphysical concept and it goes beyond mainstream scientific understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And the pineal gland's involvement in consciousness and spirituality remains a topic for exploration. This was a really interesting topic because it covered so many different things that all culminated and worked together so that you can get a better quality sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the philosophy of René Descartes, where he talked about the pineal gland being the seat of the soul,
Yes. Yes.
and also how using tuning forks will help you break unhelpful life habits.
Yes, indeed. Well, that's nearly a wrap.
Wow.
I know.
Here we are.
Can I just say thank you to you, Amanda, for all the work you've done in putting this together. I have learned so much, and it's been a great experience learning from you. And I can tell that you are a gifted teacher because the patience you have shown me during these last 3 months has been saint-like.
Oh,
So thank you, Saint Amanda, for blessing me with your tolerance, tranquility, and wisdom.
oh, thank you. That's very sweet. It has been fun, and I reckon we'll do it again.
Okay, it's a date. I can't wait for the next series. So, can you wrap things up for us with a bit of a final thought?
Okay. Well, as we wrap up this transformative journey through the world of sound therapy and tuning forks, remember what the great poet Rumi said. The wound is the place where the light enters you. In our exploration, we've touched upon the healing power of sound, allowing light to enter the depths of our well-being. Each episode has been a resonating key to unlocking a healthier, more balanced you. Embrace the vibrations, integrate the wisdom, and let the rhythm of well-being guide you. Until our next harmonic convergence, may your journey be filled with the soothing resonance of sound and the vibrant melody of holistic health. Tune in, stay mindful, and harmonize your life with the magic of sound. Thank you for being a part of this.
Oh, yes, that's brilliant. Thank you, Amanda. So, well, that's all, folks. We've had an amazing time putting this together, and we really hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. So, just remember to go to our website at biofeelbeing.com.au for all your sound therapy wants and needs. We'll be putting together a bit of a summer series, so you won't be without your weekly dose of Amanda. And we will be back bigger and better and brighter in the new year with another series. So until then, stay safe, stay well, and stay tuned into Sound Wellbeing.
Welcome, explorers of the human experience. This is Let's Talk Soul, and I'm your host, Claudia Monticelli. We're not afraid of the great mysteries of existence here. Soul versus consciousness, we're on it. Spirituality versus science, we've got that covered too. Join us in navigating these profound topics with wisdom, curiosity, and a dash of audacity. Whether you're a spiritual veteran or just starting your journey, Let's Talk Soul is your passport to the unknown. Let's Talk Soul, diving into the depths of the human spirit. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Tim from 50 Years of Music with 50-Year-Old White Guys, the comedy podcast you had no idea you needed. Join Ben, Jeff, and me as we continue our musical road trip back through the years and around the globe. See, just when you thought all white guys were like Joe Rogan, you come across 3 educators trying to remember when we were cool.
50 Years of Music with 50-Year-Old White Guys.
Electricast.